guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Elnisa Grows. Today I wanted to take you guys on a little tour of my garden and what's going on right now, kind of show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is July 23rd and let's do a July garden tour. We are in the dog days of summer now in Georgia zone 8A. It is hot, hot, hot. It's actually really hot right now, but there's a little bit of overcast, so that should kind of be a little bit of reprieve for me as I take this walk. But ooh. Okay. I have my lemon queen sunflower here. I deadheaded one of the blooms the other day, so that's where you see that little empty space in the top, but it's growing beautifully, it's blooming beautifully. I love the multiple heads. It's just really like such a pretty eye catcher for the garden. This is Armenian cucumbers here in this container, and they're doing well. These are all my zinnias. As you can see, the pollinators love them. And some cosmos that just refuse to bloom. I don't know what their deal is. Who's to know? And then back here I have another variety of sunflower. This is the Goldie Honey Bear from Botanical Interest. In the next bed I have my Thai basil, which has exploded. At the base are my sweet potatoes. Now I'm gonna be honest, this is my first year growing sweet potatoes. I don't necessarily know if they're doing well or not. I might not even have them in a bed that's deep enough. So these are kind of iffy to me. I am not sure. And then all the leaves are kind of a little sickly looking. That probably won't affect the tubers, but yeah. I also have some borage in here. I just was throwing anything in this bed. A little engine that could, which is my okra. I had a late start with the okra because they pretty much were stunted and looking pretty sickly, and I refused to give up because I really wanted to grow it. I'm gonna have to move this potted plant as they get taller, but in the meantime I did get one okra already, and if you look under here I have another one growing. So that is really exciting. It's doing really well, nice and tall. I grew these from seed. This is burgundy red or red burgundy okra, and there is some green okra in here, and these were actually store-bought starts, and they are well behind the seeds that I had sown after, so that's interesting. Next to the okra is my corn. So this bed was full of corn, but my original plants just were not doing well. They kind of were stunted, a little sickly. The most I got out of them were these little tiny corn that didn't fully develop. So I pulled the rest out, and I sowed two more before I pulled the others, and these are actually looking really good. I already have some tassels starting to form. They look much healthier than the original corn, so I planted some more inside, and now I know with corn I'm definitely going to have to stay on top of feeding it. I was told by a few other gardeners that they just really love their nitrogen, so they're heavy feeders. Same with the okra. I feel they do better when I stay on top of the fertilizing. So once those sprout, I'm going to keep up with that fertilizing, with that fish fertilizer that I love to use, and hopefully I can get a couple ears of corn before the summer's out. Here is my pepper bed with some cucumber that I had in the center. As you can see, this cucumber plant is not doing so great. It has been taken by a disease. I've clipped off so many leaves trying to slow it down, but it's really running rampant on here. However, there is still a good amount of fruit. There's still a lot of cucumbers on here, if you can see. So I'm gonna leave those to try and develop. There's even one back there, as you can see, and see what becomes of them before I pull this whole plant. But yeah, this plant is definitely going to be pulled shortly because it is not doing well. The peppers on the other side though are doing okay. I have my green bell peppers that are steadily producing, not as prolific as they were last year. So I don't know if maybe I'm not feeding them enough, or maybe they're too close together, I don't know. Back on the other side now, like I said, I have a purple bell that looks pretty good. Some green peppers. Yeah, before I was swimming in peppers, so again, I might reconsider putting so many so close. They are growing, but I feel like they could be doing a lot better. I pulled a pepper plant here that wasn't doing so great and just planted some extra tomatoes, some late tomatoes. We'll see what becomes of it. And here are my little sad little cucumbers. I'll be pulling this shortly. On this side is where I put the spicy peppers. Cayennes are looking good. Turning red. Looks pretty healthy. I also have a poblano here. It's either an ancho or a poblano. Can't remember. Or are those the same? Not quite sure, but it's budding. Some new peppers, so that's good. One of my favorites is the Buena Mulata. They started out as these really beautiful purple peppers, and then they're starting to change to this gorgeous orange, like a light fiery orange, to this really bright vibrant orange. So beautiful to see the colors transition. This is one of my favorite plants. Again, they're kind of spicy. I would say the same heat level as a cayenne, so I think I want to make some powder out of this as well. And of course, back here is the famous pumpkin watermelon alley. It is a jungle back here. It's growing really wild. Sweet pies are growing nicely. Got one here and another one here, nice and hammocked. Another sweetie pie. You can tell by the, not a sweetie pie, this is another moon and stars. Tell by the oblong shape. Have another one going here. They look a little different than the sweetie pies when they start out. So these are my first two. This one is a little later of a bloomer, but so far so good. This is my small sugar pumpkin. And I do have a nice one growing here. That's very promising, and a smaller one here. So I'm really excited about that. My goal is to have some pumpkins, at least one pumpkin for each of my kids for Halloween. The issue I'm having with my Lumina pumpkin is that I'm getting the female fruit, but they're dying. So that's upsetting. I have another one here. I definitely saw bees inside of this flower, so I don't know. Let's hope that it's pollinated and that it works out. But either way, I will just keep trying. I did give it some more fertilizer today, a phosphorus-based fertilizer to help with the fruit set. Here is my sugar-cued cantaloupe. It also looks like it's going through something with these leaves. I'll probably come and cut off some of these more disease damaged leaves, but the my first cantaloupe is looking good. It is hammocked, looking healthy, and I was the only fruit for a long time, but just recently it has popped up with quite a few fruit. This is the most fruit it's had on it the entire time. And so I have one here, a smaller one here, and two more here, and if you see, there's even one more up here. So that is really promising, and that's great news. So not a dud. Oh wait, I think I see another one right there. Yeah, so this plant is definitely had a second wind and is producing a lot. And the terrace I have here are two tomato cages, one inverted, and then I just tied the top with some zip tie so it just wasn't sticking up crazy. And it's been working really well because these plants like to spread out. This is, I have to admit, like a throwaway bed. I've been kind of putting things here when I have no place to put them. I put another cucumber here, which also looks like it's suffering. I don't know what's ripping through my garden right now, but it seems like any new cucumber plant I put out is getting taken down by disease. But I'm just gonna let it grow and see what happens. But these are volunteer ground cherries. They are in very bad shape because I just kind of been leaving them. They've been attracting hornworms, so I've been kind of using it as a trap crop right now. I have some quinoa here. That was another experiment. I don't care a whole lot about it. I just kind of have it here. And then I threw 2 more tomatoes in place of my tomato plants that aren't doing well in my center beds. But again, it's just kind of an experimental bed. I will definitely get better utilization out of this bed next year. I'll plan much better for it. And the bed right next to this, fun fact, these are my 2 original beds from last year. This is my 2 beds that I transitioned from containers after 2020. Anyway, these are my beans and whole peas. I harvested a bunch of beans out of here just the other day, and there's more growing. These are just bush beans. I don't remember the variety, just typical bush beans, but you know, the more you pick, the more they grow. And this is my first year growing whole peas after watching the okra lady on IG, and I bought seeds from her and they're starting to grow, and I'm so excited about that. They are pink eye whole peas actually. So that is my beast of a ground cherry. It's a full-blown bush. My plant did not get this big last year. I had it in a container. Maybe I'll do that again, but if I didn't have this makeshift tomato cage around it, I don't even know, it's just spread out like crazy. And on this little teepee I made are some oriental long beans that I'm excited about. All right, let's head into the center of the garden, which are my center beds under my trellis. This trellis is full of cucumber plants, 2 different kind of cucumber plants inadvertently, and my loofah, which is vigorous, a very vigorous grower. I mean, the vines are crazy, crazy, crazy. So keep that in mind if you ever plan on growing. Let's go inside. I do have some lemon cucumbers finally growing. They grow a little slower than typical cucumbers, but once they get going, there are a lot. So as you can see, there's one there with more disease issues. I know there's another one down here somewhere. Oh, there it is, if you can see it. And then it's hard to see, but there are quite a few fruit in here, so looking forward to that. I've never grown the lemon cucumbers before. For those of you who follow me on IG, you are very familiar with Bertha. Ooh, sounds like it might rain. I just did not realize that this is like how zucchini behave. It was spreading across that way, and now it's just completely grown outside of the bed. I just didn't know their growing habits, but now I know, and I think I will try to trellis them next year. I'm sorry. I have seen a few other gardeners on Instagram doing that, so I will definitely be trying that next year. Excited about my echinacea. This took so long. At first I didn't think anything was going to become of it, but it looks like it's ready to bloom. So I had a hard time with tomatoes this season. I had some issues with my compost. Apparently it was contaminated, and my tomatoes didn't do well. This curling you see is due to the contaminated compost. It's not a heat issue, and they pretty much stunted. Some of them just straight up did not grow at all. I pulled a couple, so it really set me back. This is the red Rosso Sicilio. They look pretty good, but it stopped growing taller, so I think this is all I'm gonna get out of these, just waiting for them to ripen. And on the other side here of this bed, these are the speckled Romas. They're just finally starting to turn. Again, I didn't get too many out of this plant, but I'll be happy with what I get, considering what I had to deal with. And these are San Marzanos, I believe. They're really small. I think, compared to what they're supposed to look like. I did harvest a couple, but again, at least this one is giving me a decent amount. Whoa. I might have to pack this show on the pack this show up soon, but yeah. I always interplant with flowers. These petunias are looking really pretty. This leads me to my other zucchini plant. This is a smaller plant than Bertha, but has been honestly way more productive. I've already pulled 3 zucchinis off this plant. Okay. So I think I might have to head inside soon, but before I do, I'm coming. Aria is telling me to get my ass in the house. Okay, so this is a butternut squash that I planted late. Gonna see what I can get out of it before frost. I think I should be able to get something out of it. We don't get our frost until November, so I think I'll be okay. Beautiful basil plant that did just so well this year. I'm gonna have to do a big harvest of that. A big harvest of this and make some pesto, maybe dry some, make some of those cubes, those refrigerated herb cubes. I don't know if you've seen them online. I also planted some carrots in here. I try to like make the most of my space and interplant as much as I can. And I think I will do that again next year. Okay guys, thanks for watching. If this video was a little bit all over the place, bear with me. This is my first garden tour, so I'll get better at it, or maybe not. Maybe this is as good as it gets. What else? I think I'm gonna do a video coming up just about kind of like a overview of what I would do differently, what I've learned so far this year as I start looking into and planning for the fall. So stay tuned for that. Until then, happy growing and see you next time.